See, it's an interesting time, right? As a company, also we are getting future ready. We are having a play across the spectrum of entertainment across platforms. You name it. It's TV, it's digital, it's cinema. Viacom18 has a wonderful play across all these platforms. Now, uniquely, as a cluster, I represent the cluster called Youth, Music, and English Entertainment. It targets 15 to 30 young urban Indians, and it's an interesting time for them because they are into a lot of media, all of it simultaneously. They are on television, they are on digital, OTT, social, YouTube, and more. They are into metaverse, they are into emerging platforms, like Discord. They are into Clubhouse, they are into Twitter Spaces, and the brands that I represent, which is MTV for youth, for music, it's MTV Beats and VH1, Hindi and English music respectively, and English entertainment is Colors Infinity and Comedy Central. Along with two new flanker brands that we have launched, in the last 2 years. One is Fully Faltu, which is a YouTube channel, also extended as FullyFaltuNFT.com, and the other one is Kanfor Music, which is a music label and a YouTube channel. So that kind of houses all the music that we are going to produce or we have been producing, notably MTV Hustle 2.0. All the songs that you guys have been grooving to is courtesy, Kanfor Music label. So all of these brands are designed to satisfy certain entertainment needs of this 15 to 30 urban Indian. And this year, 2023, when this young India is emerging from the challenges that were, in the last 3 odd years, they have started going out, they have started meeting with people. We recently had a very successful event in VH1 Supersonic. Absolutely, rousing performances, and what a crowd. I think it was the best ever crowd that we have had. So all of this kind of manifests that the young are not only alive and kicking, they want to be out there, they want to be seen, their choices need to be heard, and all of that gives us a lot of cues. At MTV we have pivoted a lot in the last 2 years. We have got ourselves future ready. You are seeing a very different version of MTV Roadies. MTV Hustle has been a runaway success. MTV Splitsvilla has seen riveting success across television, across OTT, as well as digital and social. And we want to continue this momentum. We are going to launch MTV Roadies 2023 in just a week's time, and the season is looking phenomenal. And now that we have Jio Cinema in the house, it's one of the biggest platforms out there in India. I think that we are in for a windfall. I think consumers are going to not just love it, but it just builds Viacom18's arsenal. When you come onto the platform Jio Cinema, you pick and choose, what you love, and I think it's a win-win for consumers and advertisers as well. It's a very interesting point. All of us, we keep saying in advertising that the attention span is decreasing. It's a universal statement, but it's not true in every use case. Our data shows that youth are also binging on shows, on movies, on OTT platforms, right? They do not sleep nights. They finish off seasons in a couple of days. That also shows that entertainment के लिए attention span कम नहीं हो रहा है. If you serve them right, they are up there. However, yes, attention span is lower if you start considering media like, let's say, Instagram stories or Reels or YouTube Shorts. So the short video phenomena is, of course, built and feeding into this entire frenzy of the attention, the low attention span. But then you also have the midway, which is YouTube. It's going stronger and stronger. And we now have a play in YouTube with Fully Faltu and Kanfor. So I think the way to look at young audiences, young consumers, Gen Z and then Alpha, is that there are moments, and we need to do moment marketing very astutely. They have their moments when they want to binge, and you need to have content which is ready for that kind of a long form. When they have those 5, 6, 8, 10 minutes, you need to have certain different kind of content, and when they have time for you in seconds, you need to be ready for that as well. So it's horses for the courses, what you select. It's actually been very, very interesting. So, when advertisers, they come and meet us, initially, they say, okay, we want to tap into your prowess as a TV brand, as a TV platform. Then they realize that, oh, these shows are actually doing phenomenally well on Viacom18's OTT platforms, and now very soon on Jio Cinema. And then they realize, oh, this is a creative powerhouse. The way to look at MTV or MTV Beats are a bunch of creative people. They are creating content for Gen Z and the future Gen Alpha, so to say. And the way to reach this audience and engage with them is to engage with their stories. That's what the clients tell us. And when they associate with us, we give them the whole hog, which is television, OTT, social media, short form videos, YouTube, music. Now with Kanfor Music, we have a play with music. So when we talk to the brands, they realize that you cannot box Gen Z, and say, "Ye to ye type ka hai." They have many facets. They have many personalities. Our MTVYouthStudy.com, the youth report that we publish, kind of elaborates on that. They have many faces, just like they have 3 or 4 Instagram profiles. That's them, right? They are many me's in one, and they have multiple needs. So when the clients or brands partner with MTV, a recent example was a very successful campaign, white label campaign that we did for Vim Black, that was men washing dishes with Milind Soman. It was a runaway success because it created conversations. Now, how are you as a brand looking at the piece? Are you looking at sales or ROI? Are you looking at conversation? Are you looking to enter the social fabric with meaningful conversations? That is what the Vim Black campaign was. MTV drove it end to end, but kudos to the HUL team, because they had the courage to explore such a campaign and engage Gen Z in a certain way. I'll segue into the conversation that I was having for brands like Vim Black. Like Viacom18 obviously is known for the TV brands that we have in the house, right? TV channels with lots of reach. We have OTT, we have social media reach, all of that. Now that constitutes one part of it. The other part is experiential. Again, the VH1 Supersonic kind of events are exactly the experiences that consumers, are out there. I would say they are revenge enjoying, in a way, after the pandemic. So Viacom18 is perhaps one of the few media houses which has such curated experiences like VH1 Supersonic, and a whole lot through the year. So if a brand comes to us and says, hey, you know what, I want to engage consumers in a much more intimate way, we can do that. We can do that across television and OTT en masse. We can even, my cluster, MTV, has a network of more than 5,000 college campuses across India. We do a lot of white label solutions as well as brand partnerships with a lot of young brands. When we go to a lot of campuses and we do, a lot of activations, a lot of content creation with youngsters across the age group. So all of that is, I think, what constitutes the modern definition of integrated marketing. And Viacom18 and MTV and the brands, that we represent as a group, I think all of it is very much in the play. If a brand has a need, I think Viacom18 is more than capable of serving it. Quite the opposite. They are so connected that it's just that sometimes the older generation, millennial and above, they do not realize that the connection that they talk of has maybe transferred into multi-platform. It is digital. It is WhatsApp. It is IG Messenger, not just in person. So they are perhaps the most connected generation ever, not just horizontally or vertically, but diagonally, across social strata. So they are connected, and to the belief that are they getting disconnected from the family unit, from the parents, from the siblings? Far from true, because the latest MTV Youth Study, the primary research that we have done, shows us, and we have been mapping this trend since about for the last 10 odd years. We see that family is actually getting closer and closer to Gen Z. They are not only holding them closer to their heart, but they also want to give back to the family. When we ask youngsters that if you make it big, monetarily, success, fame, what would you want to do? one of the top three things that they tell us that is, I want to do something for my parents, I want to do something for my family. So don't judge the book by the cover, that's the saying, but it's so true for them, because they may look in a way to you, but do not judge them by that. They are in fact one of the most literate generations that the country has ever seen, right? They're children of parents who are also very literate compared to the previous generations of India. And then you add the connectivity, the internet access, not just for themselves but for their parents and the ecosystem. And here you have a generation which is not only educated, not only has an informed opinion, but they're thinking 24/7. They're assessing things. So we as a brand, and I think as a group, we have extreme respect for our audiences at large, and we hold this particular audience, 15 to 30 urban India, in extremely high regard, because some of the calls and business decisions that we take, we know that these are the consumers, this is the future of India, so we are very mindful of it, and we have a lot of love and respect for our audience. Yes, so we have a host of shows coming up. MTV Roadies, the campaign is already live. It launches on 3rd of June. Following that, we have MTV Hustle that is going to make a comeback. It's been a super duper popular show. On air, off air, digital. It's been all pervasive. So that season is going to make a comeback. I think MTV Splitsvilla is pretty much in the game. So that's going to come back later, in the year. And we have a couple of more shows that unfortunately I'll not be able to share about, but if things work out the way we are planning, I think it's going to be phenomenal. So and that combined with what JioCinema is turning into, I think we are in for a treat, as far as the consumers are concerned, as well as the brand and the advertising fraternity is concerned. They'll have lots of choices, whether it be creativity or media.